Hello. Welcome back to my show where we talk money moves, global opportunities, and creating generational wealth. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the largest growing countries when it comes to real estate, which is the UAE. And today I have with me Sam Akinola, the founder of SZ Elite Property Advisory. Sam, welcome.
Thank you. And thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. So, for those who haven't heard about SZ Elite before, who are you and what do you do?
SZ Elite is a luxury real estate investment advisory firm. We specialize in connecting African high net worth individuals with premium and top UAE properties, not just for lifestyle, but as a part of a broader wealth strategy. We're that bridge between serious investors and the right opportunities. And that's what we do.
Well, before we get into your process, why the UAE? From an investor's point of view, what makes it worth considering?
Well, right now, it's a no-brainer. We're seeing rental yields in Dubai hitting 10 to 15% annually, which is more than London, Johannesburg, and even New York. And year on year, we've seen capital appreciation, and this has been underpinned by a stable political environment, currency stability, because the dirham is actually pegged against the US dollars, and in a region that's actually globally connected. So for African investors, it's a hedge against local market volatility and a gateway to global wealth.
Okay, you focus specifically on African high net worth individuals. Why that niche?
Well, Africa is home to one of the fastest growing number of millionaires in the world right now. And unfortunately, people are being tied to maybe one economy or one currency. And traditionally, and this is a fact, traditionally, Africans tend to, especially high net worth individuals, tend to want to invest in the West, especially the UK and the US. But unfortunately, the tides are changing. The doors are closing right now. It's hard, as you hear all over the news, there is noise against immigration, massive immigration policies, which means people's investments, especially Africans, depending on the passport you carry, might not be safe. But this is where the UAE is different. There's the shift in the mind culture. There's a shift in the power play here.
Yeah.
The UAE is much more flexible and open.
Yeah.
So they have, opportunities whereby if you invest in properties over 2 million dirhams, could you imagine you actually qualify for a 10-year golden visa?
Okay.
Not just for that investor alone, but for them and their family. So they could actually access everything you want access in the West. Is a designer branch, you got it in the UAE. Is it international schools? The UAE's got you covered. That's why we do what we do, especially with African high net worth individuals as our target.
Yeah, that sounds like what Africans look for anyway, especially when it comes to safety, education, why they are living in Africa. So that sounds like a great niche. Walk us through your process. If someone wants to invest through SZ Elite, walk us through your process for those watching at home.
So the first thing is we jump on a discovery call with that potential client to understand what they want.
Yeah.
Then we capture their requirements. And then because we are linked to almost all of the developers in the UAE that we have vetted, so we curate properties, highlight areas that we think would generate more revenue for them, where they could see capital appreciation, basically, because they're investors, and that will actually fit their lifestyle. And then we'll sit them, link them up with the developer. We go through that process. So we get to a point of then signing what we call an SPA, sales purchase agreement. Then we move from there. But you see, what separates us from the rest is we don't stop when you've purchased that property. We are with you down to when you start even living in that property, or perhaps even just for investment purposes. Till the time you sell that property, we're going to join in with you end to end. And that's what our end to end process. So it's a white glove concierge services that we provide for our clients.
So from what you're saying, it sounds like you are not agents, you're investment partners, because that leads me on to my next questions. Why would I go to you and not just an estate agent in Dubai, for example?
Yes, because like you rightly said, we're actually investment partners. So we are partners with you through that journey. And, because your own specialty is all about, finance and helping people bridge that wealth gap. We want to journey with you through that process, because one of the concerns for many Africans that I've spoken to is, hey, we don't know that landscape.
Yeah.
We want to journey with you through that landscape.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got foot on ground.
Yeah, fair enough. Why you're talking about high net worth individuals? When I think of high net worth individuals, I think they probably have, you know, people who are looking after their money anyway. They have financial investors who's probably knows about Dubai. Why haven't they been able to tap into the market? I mean, they're high net worth individuals. They should be already investing. So,
You see,
what's your answer there?
my people would always say, you see, we have two eyes.
Yeah.
With that, you can only see what's in front of you. So traditionally, people see the West as that place where you need to invest your gold, you know. But the tide is actually changing. And you see, information is power. People talk about common knowledge. Unfortunately, knowledge is not always common.
True.
And so until you get someone to actually help to shift your gaze to the right direction, you might not necessarily see. So I've had the privilege of even speaking to, you know, wealth advisors, family officers, etc. And they're always amazed. They've gone to Dubai on holidays, but what they don't know is that that door is actually open to them as well. It's all about information. And like I said, information is power.
Yes, information is key. That's fair enough. And so, in terms of budgets, you keep talking about high net worth individual. What if, as someone who is just, middle class, wants to invest and work with you and partner with you as the elite? Is that possible?
Yes, it is, but it depends on what we mean by middle class, because definition of middle class in the West might be different from definition of middle class in Africa and subject to the country as well.
Okay.
So, for instance, the minimum property or entry into the market price is about $175,000 for a one-bed flat or perhaps a studio flat in Dubai.
Yes.
The good thing is you don't need to pay all of that money at once. So different developers got different payment structures or different payment plans.
Okay.
Some developers, they expect you to pay, 20%. So you pay 20% of that amount and then they issue a sales purchase agreement. But then over the construction, the lifetime of that construction of that property or development, as it were, you're expected to pay maybe 60%. And then when they're going to hand over the keys to you, then you pay the remaining 20%. So they split it over, maybe it might be 4-year payment plan. Some even do 5 and 6 years payment plan, so that you are not being tied to your payments, but more like, you're relaxed. But what's important, and investors need to know this, you need to be sure that this is what you want to do. And secondly, you need to be sure where your funding will be coming from, because what you don't want to do is to get stuck.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. So, for an investor listening right now, what's the one thing you'd say about UAE real estate?
If there's any time in the history of the world that you've always been thinking about investing, now is the time. Perhaps people don't even know what's happening in the UAE. And I think one of the things that pulled me to the UAE is the fact that they want to be the first in whatever they do. No wonder they have the tallest building in the whole wide world, the largest man-made beach in the whole wide world. So don't think of it as just buying a property. Think of it as securing a hard asset in one of the world's most investor-friendly markets, one that pays you in dollars, protects your wealth, and gives you optionality for the future. So if you want access side and a partner who treats your money like theirs, that's what we do exactly.
Oh wow! Thanks for that, Sam. That's really inspiring. Now I want to invest with you.
Do it fast.
Sorry?
Do it fast.
I know. I'll be knocking your door for that initial discovery call. As you know, on this channel, it's all about creating generational wealth for posterity's sake and for those coming after you. By partnering with you, how do we as Africans create generational wealth?
See, there is a thin line between being rich and being wealthy.
Oh yes, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So the wealthy are those who know what to do with their riches by ensuring that they invest the riches they've amassed, get that money to work for you. So by working with us as the elite, that's what we intend to do. So you might have secured some big funding. Perhaps you've saved over time. Your money, as you have said on your channel, money sitting in your bank is not helping you at all once you get that money to start working for you.
Yeah,
and that's what we will do with you at SZ Elite. We help you take that money, plant it into a fertile soil, which is the UAE real estate. And there you see it germinate.
Yeah.
Capital appreciation is the key and solid return on investment. And the UAE real estate, that's what they give you.
Okay, great. So what are the kind of incentive to make me want to invest in the UAE? Like, could you give us some examples?
I think the UAE is one of the few regions in the world where they're not interested in your tax. So look at the UK, for instance. You buy a property, perhaps doesn't matter how you got your money, perhaps you earned your money that had already been taxed. But do you know when you sell that property, you still get to pay capital gains tax? Well, none of that happens in the UAE. Whatever you earn is yours for the taking. So no income tax whatsoever, no capital gains tax from whatever you earn from selling your property or whatever you gain through your rental yields. Secondly, like I said earlier on, for investors who invest over 2 million dirham, you're entitled to 10-year golden visa. And that's renewable as long as you hold that property. Or perhaps you sell that property and buy another one. You could just keep on renewing that 10-year golden visa, which means you, your family, and perhaps even if you have young children, you are accessing world-class education, world-class healthcare, at the tip of your fingers. And very easy. And lastly, it is just that environment, that stability. It's one of the most secure countries in the world right now. And for those of you who've never been there, visit. And if you need us to help you, we've got you covered.
Thank you, Sam. So I heard that they're building airports there or something along those lines.
Yes. So Dubai too, the largest, biggest airport like the world has never seen before, is currently being built in Dubai. You say it is guaranteed that over 270 million visitors are going to go through that airport.
Wow, that's massive. What
do you think would happen to real estate around that region?
Oh, the appreciation will be real.
Oh my goodness. Right now, it is estimated that it's going to hit about 160%.
No way.
Right now.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Imagine investing there when the prices are low.
Yeah. And now's the time. Now's the time. Because in the next few years, when that airport is ready, I could just imagine, if you don't have the dough, forget about it. Yeah. But now is the time. Let your money work for you.
Yeah, I need to get in on this. So, I mean, that's it from me. And thank you, Sam, for being here. And I hope my audience contacts you so that they can build that generational wealth. And thank you guys for listening. Till next time, see you again. Bye.